How to sew the facings into any sleeveless top or dress. Before we start, you should not have closed the shoulder seams yet. Facings can be made out of the main fabric, or you can use a very thin cotton fabric. Close the side seams on the facings. Press seam allowances open. Finish the lower edges of the facing with a zigzag stitch. Pin the facing right sides together to the neckline and armhole edges, stitching exactly up to the shoulder seams, leaving the seam allowance free. When sewing the facing to the back part, leave open around 3 to 4 centimeters or an inch before the zipper. You can see here how we are only sewing up to the seam allowance. Here we are now sewing the neckline. Now comes the last back neckline. Again, stop 3 centimeters or an inch before the zipper. Trim seam allowances and clip curves close to the stitching. Turn the facing to the inside. Press the neckline edges carefully. The trick now lies in the understitching. Sew the seam allowance onto the facing, staying as close to the original seam as possible. Press the neckline edges carefully. Pin the shoulder seams of the dress right sides together and sew without catching the facing. Press seam allowances open. Fold the seam allowances of the shoulder seams on the facing in and sew them together by hand. Now let's finish the facing at the zipper edges. Mark your seam allowance along the zipper edge. Pin the facing to the zipper edge, right sides facing. Sew along this zipper edge. You now will have this hole of 3 centimeters or 1 inch. Fold the zipper edge to the inside and sew along the upper edge, closing that hole. Now turn this corner inside out. You now have a beautiful finish along your zipper on the inside. Work the other side in the same way.